This week sees the return of the Europa Conference League. Which club is actually going to go the distance and lift the trophy at the end of the season? In this video, we're going to find out. Once again, with another prediction video today, we're going to predict the rest of the Europa Conference League right here from, of course, the last 8 to the quarterfinals, all the way through to the final, and who's going to lift the trophy at the end of the campaign. We'll get into it, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you know, where have you been? Smash the old subscribe, boys and girls. Of course, big love into the patrons. Again, of course, 8 clubs remain, but which team has the best chance to go the distance, of course, and win the trophy? We know the bracket, of course, and in this video, we're going to see who I think is the likely team to pick the trophy at the end of the campaign. Of course, also this week, make sure you come in for all those match day predictions and first legs of those quarterfinals. There, of course, will be a separate video. But today, we're just talking about the clear path. Who's going to do it? So let's get cracking, of course. So here we go then, guys. First and foremost, we're going to do a bit of a recap of how we got to this stage. All right, then folks, let's take a look back at, of course, how we got to this stage. Here we go then, of course. Lille squeaking through Group A as winners. Slovan Bratislava had to do some hard work with the playoffs. Maccabi Tel Aviv also squeaking through Group B. Ghent, hard work in the playoffs. Viktoria Plzeň still in the mixer there. Group C winners, the Zagreb joined them in the playoffs. Look at Plzeň's impressive 6 wins on the bounce over in Group C. Meanwhile, in Group D, Club Brugge, again, 5 wins on the bounce there. For them, as they dominated Group D, but a Glimmet joined them. Villa as well, going through just a one defeat all the campaign. Lille also were the runners-up. Fiorentina, of course, unbeaten through their campaign in Group F. Fenerbahçe joined them also without a defeat. Meanwhile, Group G saw PAOK also going through without a defeat as well in a tricky Group G with the likes of Frankfurt who joined them, or at least in the playoffs anyway. Meanwhile, Fenerbahçe also squeaking through on goal difference ahead of Olympiakos Razgrad in Group H. Now, those were, of course, the group stages. Of course, we then had to deal with the playoffs, with some teams crashing down from the Europa League. We saw Sturm Graz take on Slovan Bratislava. Sturm Graz coming through on aggregate there. Servette from Switzerland taking on Olympiakos Razgrad. They squeaked through with just a 1-0 on aggregate. Union St. Gilloise took out Eintracht Frankfurt. A bit of a ding-dong there. 7 goals in total over the course of those 2 games. 4-3. St. Gilloise goes through. Meanwhile, Real Betis took on Zagreb. They lost. Zagreb going through. 2-1 win. Of course, Olympiakos taking on Fenerbahçe. They also came through 2-0 win on aggregate as well. Meanwhile, another ding-dong affair there. Ajax against Glimmet. 7 goals in total over the course of the 2 games. Ajax squeaking through on average there, on aggregate, should I say. Molde, 6-2 winners over Ligue Warsaw as well. They went through. Maccabi Haifa, 2-1 winners over Ghent as well. There you go through. So realistically, just the one team from the Conference League making its way through to the actual last 16, which of course is right here, of course. So these were the games of the last 16 that we brought you. I need to move over, don't I? Move over, they say. So I'm going to go, I don't know, maybe down here. I think that might just do it. So of course, recapping those last 16 matches, we saw Club Brugge come through. PAOK took care of Zagreb to come through to this stage. Meanwhile, Maccabi Haifa Fiorentina ended up with Fiorentina into the quarterfinals. Viktoria Plzeň continued their impressive display in this competition, taking out Servette from Switzerland. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, we have got Olympiakos. They took care of business against Maccabi Tel Aviv. We have Fenerbahçe squeaking past Union St. Gilloise to set up that quarterfinal. And on the back end, the business end, Villa taking care of Ajax and Lille taking care of Sturm Graz to set up what we have right here and now. This is where we are. This is where the prediction videos will continue. But of course, I want to give you my gut feeling as who's going to go through from this stage, of course. So let's have a look at these 4 matches or 4 encounters over the course of 2 legs, which will take place around about, what are we looking at here? The quarterfinals will take place over the course of the dates of the 11th and 18th of April. So we're going to have 4 teams coming out of it. Who are they going to be? Let's take a look at, first and foremost, this top end here. We've got Club Brugge against PAOK, of course. Brugge from Belgium, PAOK from Greece, represented by 2 clubs in this final 8 here. It's a difficult one, this one. Again, you would look at when you look at these 8 clubs, realistically, I think you're looking at, as possible 3 winners out of these 8 clubs. And I'm not too sure one of the winners is going to be from this encounter here between Bruges and PAOK. But a quick look at the odds says that PAOK are 22-1 to lift the trophy. We got Club Bruges at 10-1 to lift the trophy. But my gut feeling on this one, to see who will go through to the semi-finals, let's not underestimate this. Over the course of the 2 legs here, I think it's going to be Club Bruges will get the better of them over the course of 2 legs to set themselves up for a semi-final. But who will they take on? Of course, down the foot here is against Viktoria Plzeň against Fiorentina. Now, let's not rule out Viktoria Plzeň. They have been on an incredible run in this competition, and they are a bogey team for anybody. I think they have the makings of a major upset here against Fiorentina. Fiorentina, of course, from Serie A, doing A-OK as well last season. I think didn't they win this thing, or they won the Europa League or something. They were in a final not too long ago. Let me have a quick look at them. The honours. They won something pretty recently. I'm sure they did. European title. They won the Europa. Yeah, they were runners up. That's right. Anyway, Fiorentina are still in the mix, and they'd like to get themselves through to another final against a tricky Viktoria Plzeň. Now, the current odds for them to lift the trophy, Viktoria Plzeň are 20-1 to go the distance. Fiorentina are second favourites, 3-1 to go the distance. I really love to see Plzeň upset the odds here, because just look at their run to the final. You know, whoever wins this takes on Club Bruges in the final. But unfortunately, I cannot see anything but a Fiorentina victory here. Plzeň have been great. I think they will cause Fiorentina some problems over the 2 legs, and they might even get dragged into extra time, aggregate penalties and all that kind of jazz. Let's move over to the other side of the bracket now. We've got Olympiakos, we've got Fenerbahçe, of course, two esteemed European clubs, juggernauts in their own rights, of course. So Olympiakos are the underdogs for the whole tournament, 25-1 to go the distance. Fenerbahçe are 4th favourites. They are 6-1, of course, coming from Turkey. And of course, they're both sets of fans, both sets of ultras are difficult places to go. So let's have a look at this side of the bracket as a whole here. Whoever meets either one of these in the semi-final is going to have a difficult experience to encounter, because Olympiakos can prove to be a difficult place to go over in Greece, and the same can be said for Fenerbahçe. But it's a coin flip for me on this one. I really don't know. I know the difference in the bookies' odds is quite considerable, but I think I've actually gone with Olympiakos to upset the odds somewhat to get through to that semi-final, where they'll take on the winners of Lille versus Villa. Now, this is probably the highlight of this quarter-final encounter. Villa doing pretty good in the Premier League. Lille, of course, always strong in Ligue 1. Of course, difficult game over 2 legs. Again, it could be a coin flip for both matches. But I'm going to back the Brits on this one. Back Villa to squeak past Lille over the course of the 2 legs. Emery likes the European competition, was very, very successful in his time in La Liga with Sevilla, and I think he'd like to start a bit of a dynasty here between for Aston Villa, of course, who potentially could be playing Champions League football next season. But anyway, we're left with these last 4, so let's push on forward to, of course, those semi-finals. Of course, here they are in all their glory. We know the bracket, we know the path to the final, and this is where I will see the semi-finals again over the course of the 2 legs. Now, these 2 legs will be taking place on the 2nd and 9th of May, of course, with the final on the 29th of May over in Greece, of course, which is a massive bearing or massive advantage for a lot of teams such as Olympiakos or PAOK if they were to squeak through to the semi-finals and, of course, the final. So they would, and then if Panathinaikos or PAOK, again, who are eliminated in my eyes, if Olympiakos were to make it to the final, goodness gracious me, the amount of confidence and the amount of backing they will have from the home faithful is incredible. So that's how much weight is going to be on their shoulder, expectation for them to make it to the final. But let's first and foremost concentrate on Bruges versus Fiorentina coming at you over the course of the 2 legs. The first leg, I don't know how this will pan out, but I believe it would be, the first leg would be it will be in Italy. The first leg will be in Italy. Second leg will be in Belgium, in my eyes, of course. So, difficult game, of course, on this one. But realistically, I said it already. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Fiorentina are a heavyweight in this competition, and they're probably going to be in the final, according to my eyes and according to the route to the bracket. So I'm not gonna gloss over it. I think Fiorentina too strong in this case over Bruges, and again, I think they're going to have a more difficult game against Plzeň, to be fair, against Club Bruges. So Fiorentina will be there, of course, looking to right a wrong from previous campaign and try and get themselves the trophy this time. So they'll be in another final. Goodness grip. Who will take them on? Will it be Olympiakos? Will it be Villa? Of course, again, a quick look at the odds on this one. Villa are favoured to lift the trophy 7-4. Olympiakos in the bookies odds right now 25-1. But again, just bear that in mind. A final with a Greek team in it that's a chance to make a bit of money if you're a betting man. But of course, they've got to get there first. In this one, again, Emery is a masterclass tactician in European trophies. Done it with Sevilla. He's had a difficult route to this stage, the semi-final. You got Ajax in the way. You got Lille in the way. They've got the group stage, which of course was tricky. They had AZ Alkmaar in there. They had a very Ligue Warsaw, very tricky route to get to the stage. And I think Villa, are they going to prioritise this? Are they realistically in a Champions League race, or is that done and dusted now? I think they might switch focus a little bit at this point of the season, at the start of May. I think focus will switch to this. So to get hands on a bit of European bling is going to be something incredible for a Villa side at the moment. So I think they will have the edge over Olympiakos to set up what will be a bit of a banging final. It will be Fiorentina, it will be Villa, it will be in Greece, of course, but who will, of course, come out on top? And again, it is the top two favourites. 3-1 is your Fiorentina, 7-4 is your Aston Villa to lift the trophy. But we're going to be brutally honest with you. Again, Villa got a lot of quality. Fiorentina, I think they're gonna be forever the bridesmaid. Well, in my eyes, forever the bridesmaid, especially in this case against Aston. I think they'll lose again with Villa taking home the glory and picking up the trophy for the first time in their history, I believe. Well, in this shape anyway, in the Conference League. So for me, Villa are going to go the distance, pick up the trophy, and become European Conference League champions. And of course, that will give them a passage into the Conference, into the Europa League next season. But of course, they want more than that, and maybe, just maybe, depending on what goes on in the Premier League, it might switch focus back to the Premier League, and maybe they'll push this to the back burner. But as it stands, as a recording on the 4th of April, sorry, the 7th of April, Villa are my picks to go the distance and pick up the trophy. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, we'll keep you bang up to date with the Conference League, with week by week, match day by match day predictions, leg by leg, all the way through to the final, of course. And hopefully you'll join me for that ride as we look forward to it. But until then, subscribe, thumbs up, catch you later. Of course, go the distance and make your pick down below.